So let's talk about something incredibly frustrating. You're a seasoned pro, you've got years of amazing experience, and you're trying to move from the corporate world to the nonprofit sector, or the other way around. But your resume, it just keeps hitting a brick wall. Well, you're not alone, and I'm here to tell you your experience is not the problem. We're going to dive into how you can translate your incredible achievements into a language that your target sector not only understands but truly values. Just to get a sense of the sheer scale we're talking about here, check this out. There are 1.5 million nonprofit organizations in the United States. That is a huge, dynamic, and vital part of our entire economy. And get this, those organizations employ 12.5 million people. Every single year, thousands of talented people from this world and from the corporate world decide they want to cross that divide. They're looking for a new challenge or maybe a different kind of purpose. And this is where the frustration really kicks in. You could be an executive who managed a multi-million-dollar budget, led huge teams, delivered incredible results, but recruiters just glance at your resume and pass. Why? It comes down to this. The problem isn't your capability, it's your vocabulary. Your resume is literally speaking the wrong language. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. We're going to look at why this divide even exists, pinpoint the 3 hidden barriers in your resume, and then, this is the good part, we'll walk through a powerful 3-part framework to build that bridge. And we'll wrap it all up with a concrete 5-day action plan that you can start using today. So let's start with what I call the Great Sector Divide. Picture this. A brilliant nonprofit director who grew their organization's impact and revenue by 40% applies for a corporate job. The feedback? Not business savvy. Now flip it. A corporate VP with 2 decades of profit and loss management experience wants to join a nonprofit. The board's reaction? Too corporate. You see the problem? The skills are there, but they are getting completely lost in translation. Okay, so why is this happening? It turns out your resume isn't just failing by accident, it's failing because of 3 very specific hidden barriers. But here's the good news. Once you can see them, you can systematically take them apart. All right, so here they are, the 3 big culprits. First up, the language gap. It's basically jargon. Each sector has its own dialect, and they don't understand each other. Second, the metrics translation. How you measure success is just fundamentally different. And third, the motivation question. You know, recruiters in both sectors are automatically skeptical about why you're trying to make this jump. So let's start building the solution. We're going to tackle that first problem head-on with what I call the sector bridge method. This is all about directly translating your core functions and skills so they don't just make sense, they actually resonate with the people you want to hire you. Okay, this is so cool. Look at how direct these translations are. If you're coming from a nonprofit, you didn't do fundraising, you led revenue generation. You didn't manage volunteers, you coordinated a contingent workforce. Do you see that shift? It's subtle, but it's everything. You're reframing your experience in a way a corporate hiring manager instantly understands and, more importantly, values. And guess what? It works just as beautifully in the other direction. You didn't do P&L management. You practiced budget stewardship and financial sustainability. You didn't do customer acquisition. You focused on beneficiary engagement. This phrasing immediately signals that you get it, that the goal isn't just profit. It's about a mission. Now this is a pro move. This takes it to the next level. Don't just swap the words. Make the comparison explicit for them. Use this magic phrase, equivalent to. Look at this example. It doesn't just say you raised money, it says you ran a complex enterprise sales operation, managing a portfolio of 500 clients with an 85% retention rate. Any sales leader on earth understands and respects that. All right, that was language. Let's move on to the second key insight, which I call the metrics reframe. You see, both sectors love data. They love results. But they are using a completely different measuring stick. Your job is to make your numbers speak their language. This is a perfect example of what I'm talking about. On the left, served 15,000 beneficiaries. That's a fantastic nonprofit accomplishment, but to a corporate recruiter, it's fuzzy. Now look at the reframe. By calculating your cost per beneficiary and showing you improved it by 37%, you've just demonstrated an expert-level grasp of operational efficiency and unit economics. That is corporate gold. And what about your fundraising? Instead of just putting down a total number raised, present it as a sophisticated revenue diversification strategy. This chart, for example, shows a balanced portfolio of funding streams. See?
This isn't just asking for money. This is strategic financial management that minimizes risk, a skill that is highly valued in any corporate C-suite. Now let's flip it. If you're coming from a corporate background, just saying you cut costs might sound a little ruthless to a nonprofit board. But reframing that exact same achievement as demonstrated fiscal discipline and resource stewardship, well, that speaks directly to their core values. You're showing them you know how to do more with less, which is the fundamental reality for most nonprofits.
Okay, we fixed the language, we fixed the numbers, but there's one last tricky hurdle: the narrative bridge. This is where we tackle that motivation question. Your resume can't just be a list of facts. It has to tell a confident, compelling story about why you are making this change. Let's start right at the top with your professional summary. The after version here is just so powerful. It doesn't apologize for the nonprofit background, it weaponizes it. That phrase, resourcefulness refined in resource-constrained environments, reframes your experience as a massive competitive advantage. You're telling the reader, I know how to do more with less, and every single company wants that skill. And for all you corporate folks looking to make that switch, the key is to signal your new focus loud and clear. You aren't just a finance exec anymore. You are one who wants to use that incredible financial acumen to create measurable community impact. This immediately aligns you with the organization's mission and puts to rest their fear that you just don't get their world. So your narrative bridge really has three key parts. Your professional summary sets the stage. It's your origin story. Then you need what I call a bridge achievement. That's a bullet point from your last job that already points toward your target sector. And finally, if you have any board or volunteer experience that crosses that sector divide, make it prominent. It's concrete proof that you're already familiar with their world. Okay, that was a lot of theory, but how do you actually do all of this? Let's move from ideas to action with a simple, practical, week-long plan to completely transform your resume. Here it is. It's totally manageable. Day one is all about research. Find a bunch of job descriptions in your target sector and start building your own translation dictionary. Day two, you tackle the metrics. Reframe every single number on your resume. Day three is for the narrative. Write that new, powerful summary and find your bridge achievements. Day four, you do the full rewrite. And day five is all about optimizing and getting a final review. See, step by step. And for that crucial final step on day five, you have to think about the robots. I'm talking about the applicant tracking systems, or ATS. Sector switchers are especially vulnerable here because your original vocabulary is often a total mismatch with the keywords the system is looking for. This is where tools like Pass the Scan can be a lifesaver. They analyze your resume against a real job posting and show you exactly where the language gaps are. It helps you get past the bots and into the hands of a real human. So, let's end right where we started, with this one question. You have years of valuable, proven experience. You have led teams, you have managed budgets, you have delivered incredible results. Your capability is not and has never been in doubt. The only question left is your vocabulary ready to prove it? Now you have the tools to make sure the answer is yes.